Homeless youth is one of those issues that often is forgotten or even unknown about. It's a definite black eye on our society as far as it's seen maybe as an inner city problem, where the reality is these kids are coming from mainly suburban and outstate America.
I've been doing youth work for like the last 13 or 14 years, you know. I've been doing street outreach work for like 7 years, going on 8. And I'll tell you straight up, the life expectancy of a homeless youth is only 4 years.
On any given night here in Minnesota, we have about 500 to 600 minors, 17 and younger. If I count the 18 through 21-year-olds who are not families with other children themselves, with just unaccompanied homeless youth, it's another 500 to 600. So there's somewhere between 1,000 to 1,200 on the streets any given night in this whole state of Minnesota.
I had no problem with 1 or 2 people, but it was like 8 or 9 people in an efficiency apartment. Some of them wasn't even close to me. They were just, I couldn't tell them to get out and go home. And I eventually ended up losing my apartment.
I started traveling when I was around 12. I was about to be 13 years old. Wasn't a lot of room in my house.
I started my life first in foster care, then into adopted care, and then onto the streets. Started going off the streets when my mother decided she didn't really want me and I didn't really want her.
We've all heard the stats of broken homes in our society for years and years. And homeless youth is a result of 20, 30 years of broken homes, just the vast numbers. Kids that are raised in healthy families at 17, 18 years old don't hit the streets. The past of a lot of homeless youth comes out of a lot of abuse.
There is an express train route that runs from the West Coast to the East Coast, and the Twin Cities is the Midwestern stopping point. It's not Chicago. They don't stop in Chicago.
So you end up traveling, squatting buildings, abandoned buildings, or fire stations, or side of the road, or train yards.
Shelters that exist out there often have predators in them, and the younger ones get targeted, so as a result, a lot of homeless youth won't go to normal shelters. We know kids that would ride the bus lines. There's about an hour bus line that's a round trip from Minneapolis to St. Paul. And individuals would stay on there just so they could have a safe place to sleep. And once they'd do the route, they'd get off and get a transfer and just get back on the next bus so they could stay safe at night.
When a kid is on the street, as teenagers on the streets, within 48 hours, they're probably either approached by a pimp or a drug dealer or a gang member.
You may see youth walking up and down the streets. They may be out here hustling. They may be in part of survival sex.
They would leave like at probably like 9, 10 o'clock at night, and then they would go and walk the streets all night to go get money from guys. It'll make you feel low. From all the people that I know that done it, they feel really bad. I can tell they were depressed and stuff like that from doing it.
Fall of 2003, national periodicals, the Rolling Stone, Newsweek, National Geographic, Christianity Today, all did articles about teen prostitution. All of those articles referenced or were about Minneapolis. The world's largest porn sites are out of Minneapolis, which is a multi-billion-dollar industry. 80 cents of every dollar in the internet goes towards porn.
I realized that I could make a little bit more money, doing prostitution. I started when I was 17, doing illegal prostitution until I found out that the cops were out there watching us, and so I died down on that till I turned 18.
Like, you don't know whether you want to go in there and do something about it, or you want to just get the hell away from it, because it is yucky. And yet young people looked at it as possibly a survival. It can do such a mind game on you that that is a person you belong to, that provides for you, listens to you, and all you have to do is give it up.
I didn't have God in my life, had no care for Him in my life to control me, and at that time there was just no point to even live life.
There is this side of the street life that's very dangerous and very harmful, and at the same time there is this side that's very fun and very exciting. You know where to get the free food, you know where to get to the shelters, you know how to do dealings, on the streets if you get into dealing, you know who the street people are. You're successful and you can survive, and you become so focused on just getting through today that's what kind of sucks you in.
Odds are they've built a lot of friendships and a network, even what they would call a family or a tribe, that has helped them even survive as far as living. And so many times making a break from that and that kind of street life is something that's not easy to do.
Basically, when you travel, you find people that you can have a lot of companionship with.
Youth form what we call street families. There's a sense of street culture out there. They'll show them how to work the system, how to get around, what dumpsters to dive into for food, what squats are available, how to avoid the police, who are the pimps, who are the drug dealers, and they'll bond together as a family, and they'll form these family bonds.
And a lot of times their friends might see them turning their back on them just for putting in some positive behaviors in their life.
There's some chances out there to get you off the street, get you a new start, get you an education. But if you take that road, you lose your friends, you lose everything, you lose the people you trusted most.
Family is so essential. Individuals that are willing to embrace, love, support, encourage, believe in, that's what odds are, even before the kid hit the street, they didn't have that. And so some of them most likely never had that in their lives.
Said, I need help bad, and I need to find someone that will care for me.
If we can provide for them with a consistent presence of somebody in their lives who's healthy and nurturing and loving, and provide for their basic needs, then I think the rest will kind of fall in place.